It's the smell that hits you the moment you walk through the door. That artificial burst of spring meadow or ocean breeze that promises to transform your home into something fresher, cleaner, more inviting. But what if those pleasant scents are actually doing more harm than good? You would think, after all these years, making your home smell nice would be simple. Open a window, light a candle, maybe put some flowers in a vase. But these days, store shelves are packed with chemical cocktails designed to mask odors rather than eliminate them. And for seniors who remember when fresh air actually meant fresh air, some of these modern air fresheners can feel more like a chemical assault than a breath of spring. Especially when you start looking at what's really inside those pretty packages and how those ingredients might be affecting your health, your pets, and even your home itself. Because the truth is, some of the most popular air freshener brands are pumping out compounds that would make a chemistry lab think twice. And once you see what's really floating around in your living room, you might decide that natural air is better than artificial freshness. Starting with a brand that's everywhere but should be nowhere near your home. Walk into any grocery store and you'll see them. Febreze plugins promising weeks of continuous fragrance that adjust to your home's needs. The marketing makes it sound like having a personal scent butler working around the clock. But according to environmental health experts and former P&G employees, these devices are actually miniature chemical factories operating in your living space. Multiple health researchers have pointed out that plug-in air fresheners release synthetic fragrances continuously, whether you need them or not. That means you're breathing low-level chemical exposure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One indoor air quality specialist shared that homes with plug-in fresheners often show elevated levels of volatile organic compounds that can trigger respiratory issues. For seniors especially, this constant exposure can be problematic. Older adults with sensitive respiratory systems, allergies, or compromised immune systems may experience headaches, dizziness, or breathing difficulties from prolonged exposure to synthetic fragrances. One customer shared that they developed chronic coughing that disappeared within days of removing their Febreze plugins. Former employees from fragrance manufacturing companies have revealed that many plug-in scents contain phthalates, compounds used to make fragrances last longer. These chemicals have been linked to hormone disruption and can be particularly concerning for seniors already dealing with age-related health changes. The devices themselves can also pose safety risks. Several customers have reported plug-ins overheating, creating burn marks on outlets, or causing electrical issues. One homeowner shared photos of their wall outlet that was discolored and damaged after months of continuous plug-in use. And here's something most people don't realize. These plug-ins don't actually eliminate odors. They mask them with stronger chemical scents. That means whatever was causing the original smell is still there, just hidden under layers of artificial fragrance. For seniors trying to maintain a genuinely clean, healthy home environment, that's counterproductive. The cost adds up quickly, too. Refill cartridges can run $3 to $5 each and last only a few weeks. Over a year, that's more than $50 per plug-in device. For seniors on fixed incomes, that's money better spent on genuine cleaning products or natural alternatives that actually address odor sources. The promise sounds convenient. A device that senses when you enter a room and automatically releases a burst of freshness. No buttons to press, no spraying to remember. Just walk in and get welcomed by the scent of your choice. But according to former retail workers and customer complaints, these automatic systems often create more problems than pleasant experiences. Multiple customers have reported that the motion sensors on these devices are oversensitive, causing them to spray constantly whenever someone walks by. One senior shared that their Glade automatic sprayer went through an entire refill in less than a week because it triggered every time they walked past the hallway where it was installed. The spray itself is highly concentrated, designed to disperse quickly and cover large areas. But former employees from SC Johnson have mentioned that this concentration means each burst contains a significant amount of synthetic chemicals. For seniors with breathing issues or chemical sensitivities, these sudden bursts can trigger coughing fits, sneezing, or even asthma attacks. Customer reviews frequently mention malfunctioning units that either stop working entirely or get stuck in continuous spray mode. One homeowner described coming home to find their automatic sprayer had emptied an entire canister, leaving their living room thick with artificial fragrance that took hours to clear and caused headaches for everyone in the house. The placement of these devices can also be problematic. They're designed to be mounted at eye level for optimal motion detection, which means the spray is often directed right where people breathe. Former indoor air quality consultants have pointed out that this creates concentrated exposure zones that can be particularly harmful for older adults who spend more time at home. The refills are expensive and don't last long, especially if the device malfunctions or the sensor is too sensitive. At $4 to $6 per refill lasting only 3 to 4 weeks, the annual cost can exceed $100. For seniors watching their budgets, that's a significant expense for something that might actually be harmful to their health. And like other synthetic air fresheners, these automatic sprays don't eliminate odors, they just cover them up with chemical masking agents. One customer noted that after removing their automatic sprayer, they realized their home had underlying odors that had been hidden for months, requiring actual cleaning to address. You've seen them hanging from rearview mirrors everywhere. Those little pine tree-shaped air fresheners promising to keep your car smelling fresh for weeks. They seem harmless enough, just a small piece of cardboard soaked in scent. But according to automotive safety experts and health researchers, these innocent-looking air fresheners can pose serious risks, especially for seniors who spend significant time in their vehicles. Multiple studies have shown that the confined space of a car amplifies the concentration of chemicals released by these air fresheners. Former automotive technicians have shared that cars with hanging air fresheners often show elevated levels of formaldehyde and other volatile organic compounds, especially when the vehicle sits in the sun. For seniors who may have respiratory conditions, heart problems, or take medications that affect their sensitivity to chemicals, this concentrated exposure can be particularly dangerous. One customer shared that they experienced dizziness and nausea during longer drives that stopped completely when they removed their car air freshener. The heat factor makes everything worse. When your car sits in the sun, temperatures inside can reach over 150 degrees. At those temperatures, hanging air fresheners release chemicals at accelerated rates. Former emergency responders have mentioned attending calls where people felt faint or sick in overheated cars that reeked of artificial fragrance. Automotive safety experts have also pointed out that hanging air fresheners can obstruct vision or become projectiles during sudden stops or accidents. For senior drivers who may already be dealing with vision changes or slower reaction times, any additional visual obstruction is a safety risk not worth taking. The chemicals in these products can also damage your car's interior over time. Multiple customers have reported that long-term use of hanging air fresheners caused discoloration of dashboard materials, cracking of plastic surfaces, or permanent staining of fabric. One car owner discovered that their air freshener had actually bleached the headliner fabric directly above where it hung. And just like household air fresheners, car fresheners mask odors rather than eliminate them. If your car has a persistent smell, covering it up with artificial fragrance prevents you from identifying and addressing the actual source, which could be a sign of mechanical problems, mold, or other issues that need attention. The cost may seem minimal at $1 or $2 per freshener, but they need frequent replacement. Over a year, you might spend $25 to $40 on something that could be making your driving experience less safe and less healthy. The convenience seems obvious. Bad smell? Grab the can and spray it away. Aerosol air fresheners promise instant odor elimination with just a few quick bursts. But according to environmental health specialists and former employees from major aerosol manufacturers, these products are among the most chemically concentrated air treatments you can bring into your home. Multiple respiratory health experts have pointed out that aerosol sprays create fine particles that can penetrate deep into lung tissue. Unlike larger droplets that get filtered out by your nose and throat, these microscopic particles can reach the alveoli where gas exchange occurs. For seniors with compromised lung function or existing respiratory conditions, this deep penetration can trigger serious breathing problems. Former employees from companies like Reckitt Benckiser have shared that aerosol air fresheners contain propellants, solvents, and preservatives, in addition to the fragrance compounds. One insider revealed that some formulations include ingredients that would require ventilation warnings if they were sold as cleaning products, but air fresheners have less stringent labeling requirements. The pressure delivery system means these products release concentrated bursts of chemicals all at once. Customer complaints frequently mention headaches, throat irritation, or breathing difficulties immediately after using aerosol air fresheners. One senior shared that using Lysol spray in their bathroom triggered such severe coughing that they had to leave their own home until it cleared. Environmental scientists have also discovered that aerosol air fresheners can react with ozone in the air to create secondary pollutants like formaldehyde. This means that using these products might actually create harmful compounds that weren't in the original formula. For seniors trying to maintain healthy indoor air quality, this chemical reaction is particularly concerning. The aerosol cans themselves pose additional risks. Multiple customers have reported cans exploding due to pressure changes, temperature exposure, or manufacturing defects. One homeowner described their air freshener can bursting in a closet, coating clothing and surfaces with concentrated chemical residue that required professional cleaning to remove. Storage and disposal issues add another layer of concern. These pressurized containers can be dangerous if they're punctured, overheated, or disposed of improperly. Former waste management workers have shared that aerosol cans are among the most problematic household items they handle because of explosion and chemical exposure risks. The masking effect is particularly strong with aerosol sprays because of their chemical concentration. Instead of eliminating odors, they often create a chemical cloud that overwhelms your sense of smell. One customer noted that after regularly using aerosol air fresheners, they lost the ability to detect subtle odors in their home, potentially missing important smells like gas leaks or smoke. They look innocent enough. Small cubes of scented wax that you melt in decorative warmers, filling your home with fragrance that seems more natural than sprays or plug-ins. The marketing emphasizes the cozy, homey feeling of melted wax scents. But according to toxicologists and former fragrance industry workers, these products can be among the most problematic air fresheners for indoor air quality. Multiple environmental health researchers have pointed out that heating scented wax releases not just fragrance, but also the chemical compounds used to bind and preserve those scents. When wax melts are heated, they can release formaldehyde, benzene, and other volatile organic compounds that become airborne and circulate throughout your home. The heating element adds another layer of concern. Former employees from wax melt manufacturers have shared that the optimal temperature for scent release is also hot enough to break down some fragrance compounds into potentially harmful byproducts. One indoor air quality specialist noted that homes using wax melts often show elevated levels of compounds that aren't listed on the product ingredients. For seniors especially, the continuous low-level exposure can be problematic. Unlike sprays that dissipate quickly, wax melts can operate for hours, creating prolonged chemical exposure in living spaces. Customer complaints frequently mention headaches, respiratory irritation, or feeling chemically overwhelmed after using wax melts for extended periods. The warmers themselves can pose safety risks, particularly for older adults. Multiple customers have reported units overheating, creating burn hazards, or malfunctioning in ways that could start fires. One senior shared that their wax warmer cracked during use, spilling hot wax and creating both a burn risk and a cleaning nightmare. Former retail workers have mentioned that wax melts are often made with paraffin, a petroleum byproduct that releases additional compounds when heated. Unlike natural waxes like soy or beeswax, paraffin can produce soot and chemical residues that accumulate on walls, furniture, and in air ducts over time. The cost factor is often hidden. While individual wax melts seem inexpensive, heavy users can go through several per week. At $2 to $4 per package of melts, plus the electricity cost of running warmers continuously, the annual expense can exceed what many seniors spend on their monthly utility bills. Storage and handling issues add practical concerns. Wax melts can soften in warm weather, creating messy situations in storage areas. Multiple customers have reported wax melts melting in their cars during summer weather, creating cleanup problems and concentrated chemical exposure in enclosed spaces. The cleaning requirements are also more complex than many seniors expect. Wax residue builds up in warmers, requiring regular cleaning with chemicals or special tools. Former employees have shared that this residue can harbor bacteria or mold if not properly maintained, potentially creating health risks beyond the chemical exposure. By now, you're probably seeing the pattern. From plug-ins to aerosols to heated wax, these products all share common problems. Synthetic chemicals, masking rather than eliminating odors, potential health risks for seniors, and costs that add up over time. Former EPA researchers have pointed out that indoor air quality is often worse than outdoor air quality, and synthetic air fresheners are a major contributor to this problem. For seniors who spend more time indoors and may have compromised immune systems or respiratory function, this chemical load can have cumulative health effects. The marketing around these products deliberately targets emotional responses, cleanliness, comfort, hospitality while downplaying the chemical reality of what you're actually putting into your home's air. Former advertising executives from major fragrance companies have admitted that the goal is to make synthetic scents feel natural and necessary. The good news is that there are genuinely effective ways to keep your home smelling fresh without chemical exposure. Opening windows for natural ventilation costs nothing and provides real fresh air. Baking soda naturally absorbs odors rather than masking them. White vinegar can eliminate many odor sources entirely. For pleasant scents, essential oils used sparingly in diffusers provide fragrance without synthetic chemicals. Fresh flowers, herbs, or even orange peels can add natural fragrances that don't compromise air quality. These alternatives often cost less and work better than synthetic products. The key is addressing odor sources rather than covering them up. Regular cleaning, proper ventilation, and identifying the root causes of unwanted smells will keep your home fresher than any artificial fragrance. The next time you're tempted to grab an air freshener to solve a smell problem, remember this. Your nose and lungs don't care how pretty the packaging is or how fresh the marketing claims sound. What matters is what you're actually breathing and how it affects your health. For seniors especially, protecting indoor air quality is about more than comfort. It's about maintaining respiratory health, reducing chemical exposure, and creating a truly clean living environment. The best smelling home is one where the air is actually clean, not just artificially scented. These 5 air freshener types represent millions of dollars in marketing designed to convince you that synthetic fragrances are necessary for a fresh home. But generations of people kept their homes smelling pleasant without pumping chemicals into the air 24 hours a day. If this helped you see those fresh scents a little differently, hit that like button and subscribe to The Hidden Bite. We're here to help you keep your home truly fresh, not just artificially fragrant. Because around here, we believe the best air is the kind you can breathe safely, not the kind that comes with a list of synthetic ingredients longer than your grocery list. And remember, the truth isn't always what's floating in the air.